Hey guys, it's Nevaeh and I'm here to sprinkle my thoughts on you. I just came because I thought of something after watching a video, and it was a girl talking about how she doesn't like surface level relationships. Like she actually said she doesn't like shallow relationships. And it just sparked something in me. So I'm gonna make a video. I don't have notes written down. This is just gonna be from a place of flow. And if you could relate to not wanting surface level relationships, this video is for you. So I'm gonna go back. Whenever I was young, I was very, sentimental. I was really sentimental when it came to like pictures, items, clothing, things. And I think a little bit of when it comes to things and clothing, it's like a minor hoarder. But outside of that, I really just had like a deep connection to like everything and everyone around me. Even whenever it came to like, say I was to get in an argument with my cousin, like after we get over the argument, I was like 9. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to know why we were arguing. Why do you feel like we should still be like cool with each other? Why do you feel like we should still have a friendship, a relationship, a cousinship? I really wanted to ask these questions. And I remember one time I got into like a fight with one of my cousins, and afterwards, because she was like being kind of mean, and then I'm a little feisty whenever someone's mean to me, and I remember wanting to have like this deep conversation afterwards, and I could tell like the conversation that I was trying to have with her, she was just like, this girl, like, she was like, I think it was kind of making her like cringe on the inside. Like, I think she just couldn't help to be like, why does she even care? Like, we're either cool or we're not, you know what I'm saying? But I just had like this deepness to me that this depth to me, I don't even know if deepness is a word, that I just wanted to talk about things. I wanted to get to the bottom of whatever the issue was, and I really just wanted to make sure the feelings were very mutual. I don't think we were in alignment. I mean, to an extent we were, because we like loved each other crazily, but I think like the way that our brains were just different. But yeah, I grew up and a lot of people used to tell me, you're so sentimental, you're so emotional. And growing up that way, I kind of like started thinking that it was a bad thing. I remember there was like a year of my life, like whenever I was in like 6th grade, I was talking to this boy, and then like we ended up not talking, and I like felt so sad, but I was like, I'm not gonna cry. And for like a year, I literally like, I was so prideful about not crying. For like a year straight, I didn't cry for that entire year. And I was just like, I don't cry anymore. And I literally made that a part of my personality, which wasn't like me at all. Like by nature, naturally, I just super logical, but super emotional at the same time. It was just a balance. Like by nature, I just, I thought very deeply, but I thought very logically, and I just wanted things to make sense, but I also wanted my heart to be involved in everything. And then whenever I got a little bit, like a year later after that, I had found one of my friends. I'm not gonna say her name on here, but me and her got really close, and it was like, it almost felt like emotionally we were on the same type of wavelength. I don't know if logically if we were or not. I'd have to do like deep thinking on that, but I know for a fact emotionally, like, we're on the same type of timing. We could literally like sit together and talk about our feelings and talk about the things we went through, and like talk about our emotions and like how we viewed life, our perspectives on things, everything like that. And just being around somebody like that, where I was safe to like be myself, I think it just brought it out of me again. And then I started attracting other people who were like that, who like wore their emotions on their sleeve, and it gave me a safe space to like let myself out again. But I think that there was a part of me that still like was ashamed in a way, not around them, but just to the world. Like, I felt ashamed that I was such an emotional being. And when I say emotional, I don't mean I was just crying about literally everything, but I'm just saying, like, if I was watching a movie and it was super sweet, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna let out my emotions, I'm gonna share them. If me and another friend quit talking that I really valued in my life, like, it would affect me. I wasn't the kind of girl like, forget them. Like, no, it might affect me. I might think about it because I expected different from you. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I always just wanted to have like deep conversations. Like, I want to talk about your childhood. I want to talk about all the things that bother us, all the things that we're going to grow from. I want to talk about our future, what makes us who we are, what makes you who you are. And it was just, those are all of the things that I cared about. And that's always who I have been. So that's how I was really as a teenager and growing older. Now I'm barely 20, but I noticed after I became a mom, and especially after I moved to college, well, not to college, but to LA where my college is at, it just got way more intense. Like, knowing myself was like my life mission, which I feel like it has been for a long time, even since before I moved out here. But like, for sure, after I moved out here, I just like, knowing myself has been like my mission. And I don't think it's ever gonna end. That journey is forever. But I really like did a deep dive on everything about me. I really started to think about my past. I started to analyze, and I think I've always kind of analyzed everybody, but I really started to analyze the people in my life as an adult, what I wanted out of life, you know, analyzing in a different way. Whenever you're a teenager, you can only analyze as far as like what they're doing, such as school, or, you know, but when you're adult and things really start changing and you start moving, you start focusing on your future, making new friends, being intentional with your goals, you really get to see the choices and who people are deciding to be. And you also get to see what people are talking about. And so I came to this place where I started like analyzing and questioning and being skeptical, but also optimistic, and like just all these emotions about everybody in my life, but like deep analyzation. And I started realizing that I was like in a place where I was attracting a lot of people who didn't want to think deeper than surface level, didn't want to take deep dives within themselves. And I think that's a thing that a lot of people are scared to do. I heard in another video that I watched, I want to say her name is RP, but she was talking about how there was like a study that was done, and she couldn't recall where she read it, but she had read about a study where there was like this option for the people that they were doing like doing research on, to see whether or not they wanted to be shocked, like a painful physical shock to their body, or sit in a room alone with no sound, no paper, like no nothing, sit in a room alone for 30 minutes by themselves. And more than half of the people chose that they would rather get a shock to their body than sit alone with themselves for the study. And she was like saying how like that spoke volumes. And I was like, it really does speak volumes. Like, us humans really are, a lot of humans are really afraid to do a deep dive on themselves and sit alone with their thoughts. A lot of people are scared of boredom and scared of self-analyzation and being insightful and actually taking a deep dive within. A lot of people would rather pretend that they're doing that and say things like, oh, I'm healing, I'm on my healing journey, and a lot of things. And some people really are. And some people really are putting in that work. But a lot of people will say that they're doing those things, but not actually be doing work behind the scenes to figure themselves out how they really should. And I think whenever you're a very deep person and you care about little things like that and you feel very deeply, but you also have this balance of logic, naturally, like your life mission and your life goal is kind of to figure yourself out. And you realize when you figure yourself out, you have better friendships, you have better relationships. And I started noticing, going back to what I was saying, I started noticing that a lot of people around me were not on that type of timing. A lot of people were not like deep diving into themselves. A lot of people are living on autopilot. They're just moving in this world on autopilot. And it's like, it seems kind of beautiful to do that. It sounds cool, but I just naturally don't live like that. I naturally live in my brain, in my head. And when I say in my head, I don't even mean it negatively. I just live in a way where I'm thinking thoughts and I'm thinking about my future. I'm thinking about how I got here. I'm thinking about now, and I'm very present while also being very future oriented. And like, I just care deeply about self-growth, like so deeply. When I come on here and speak on this YouTube channel, you might think like, why is this girl like always talking about motivation? Like, I'm not just trying to be motivation. I'm trying to be real and share my journey with you guys, because this is what I'm actually passionate about. I'm actually passionate about people wanting to grow, and like even myself wanting to grow and becoming a better person. And I say all of this to say, I used to hate that I was such a deep person. I used to hate being called sentimental. Oh, she's so emotional. She cares about little things. I used to hate that so bad. And I thought literally something was wrong with me. I thought something was wrong with me because I cared to know more about myself and I cared to know more about other people. And like that, I was just analyzing stuff. And I thought something was wrong with me. You guys, like, literally. And it's crazy because I think on the outside to some people, like, they would have never guessed that. They probably would have thought, oh, she was just confident. You seem like you're confident. You seem like you're okay. Yeah, but like if you do a deep reflection, like not a deep reflection, if you do like, if you could know my actual thoughts, of course, like I was confident in like the things that I was achieving. Yeah, like I was confident that I was an A+ student. Like, duh, like those were the obvious. But like who I was though, I literally hated myself for. I hated the fact that I cared too much about things. Now I'm looking back and I'm like, why did you hate that? Like that is, now I feel like that is the greatest thing about me. Like that is the most beautiful thing about me. Ever since I started realizing how deep that I am, the depth that I could, like the depth inside of me, I started to realize that I am really what somebody needs. And not what somebody needs, like I feel like everybody needs me. No, obviously not. I'm just saying I started gaining the confidence to feel like, you know what? I am deserving of this friendship. You know what? They're lucky that they have me. You know what I'm saying? They're lucky that they have somebody that cares to dig deep and get to know them. They're lucky that they have somebody who cares about integrity, honesty, is straightforward. I am somebody who is worthy of being treated right by a partner. I am somebody who's worthy of having a man who treats me right. You know what I'm saying? And whenever I started realizing that, when I started realizing that my depth was actually a superpower and not a flaw, I started to become more confident. My emotions are not what is it called? What did I just say? Oh my goodness, my brain went away really quick. My emotions are not my downfall. They're my superpower, and it's not my fault everybody cannot, have deep emotions or think as deeply as I think sometimes. And I don't say that because I think I'm better than anybody. I just say that because I know I'm different. And, it's not my fault that I'm different. That's what's most beautiful about me. And for somebody else, maybe the fact that they don't care so deeply is beautiful about them. Like, maybe that's what they love most about themselves. But that's not who I am. That's not how I'm built. And how I'm built is really why people should love me. And how you're built is why people should love you. So, I just came to ramble and came to talk and, like, ramble, basically. Say whatever was on my mind. Look at my daughter's drawing. It looks like a mermaid tail. But, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night. I hope you guys could relate to this video. This wasn't even advice. This was really just me, like, spilling my heart out to you guys. Nah, but I really just came to speak to you guys and just talk. And just the moral of what I'm trying to say is your emotions and the depth that you can, like, the depth inside of you is the most beautiful thing about you. And a lot of people will dislike you for it, and some people just won't understand you for it. But when you get around those people that do, life-changing. Okay, thank you for listening. Wait, I didn't even say what I need to say. Holla at your girl. Be real or be real. Bye.